Hello, hello, how are you? I am back again and today I'm doing a handbag reveal. I am really excited about this one. I feel like it's been a long time coming and it has a bit of a backstory, so I'm going to try and fill you in quickly, but I respect your time, so I'm not going to waffle on for too long. But basically, I was at my parents' house and my mum said that she was in the charity shop the other day and they had a Burberry coat, and I was like, I'm interested. So I was like, I'm going to go in and see if they still have it. Anyway, I went in, it had sold. But while I was there, I found a Dior handbag and I was like, that's amazing. I was like, I'm interested. What should I do? Should I get it? Should I not? I took a quick photo. I put it on my Instagram stories. I was like, this bag is £95. It's Dior. It's vintage. Should I buy it? Should I not? Anyway, I shared it on my stories and then I stood there for maybe like 10-20 minutes thinking, should I buy it? Should I not? Should I buy it? Should I not? And I was like, I'm not sure. It's like £100 or 95. And I was like, should I buy it? Should I not? And I ended up being like, no, I don't need it. I've got self-restraint. I'm not gonna get it. I don't need it. Anyway, by the time I got home, my inbox was flooded with everybody just being like, yes, buy it, yes, buy it, yes, buy it. And I was like, what have I done? So I was like, okay, I need to go back to the charity shop and buy this bag. So I went back and the lights were still on, but they were cashing up and they would not let me in to buy this bag. And I was like, I cannot believe it. So I was like, I got home and I had even more messages being like, yes, buy the bag, buy the bag, buy the bag. And I was like, I can't, I tried to go back and they were shut. Like they would not even shut. They were shutting and they wouldn't let me in to buy it. So then my mum was like, don't worry, I'll go back, I'll get you the bag. And finally, I've seen my mum because we don't live near each other and she has given me the bag. And I have not seen this for like 4 weeks, so I can't even remember what it looks like, but I'm very excited. So I thought I would film it and show it to you. So £95, vintage Dior. Let's get into it. By the way, don't you love the fact that my mum wrapped it up in tissue to keep it safe? And it made it feel like more of a gift for me. Anyway. Here it is. It's very cute. It's like a little kind of, I actually remember it being smaller. I remember it being more wallet on chain bag size, but it's actually a nice bit bigger. I'm just gonna pad it up to give it its shape. There we go, that's better. I like bags with a bit of padding in, you know, where it's got shape. Anyway, it's got this really lovely, super soft leather at the top. It's got Christian Dior Paris here. It's got the monogram coated canvas at the bottom, which continues onto the back where, again, it goes into the leather. It's got a very sweet little leather strap. You can wear it crossbody. And then on the inside, it says, sorry, I'm just going to show it to you because obviously it's got the padding in, but it says Christian Dior made in France. So that is the label, and again it's got the monogramming on the inside. It's just really beautifully finished and I quite like this. The metal which is at the end of the straps is just a really nice way of finishing it. Like it's not a knot, it's not stitched in, it's yeah, a bit of metal which holds it, and it's actually quite, like, I think you could almost do a knot and wear it shorter, so it kind of is almost adjustable, which is really lovely. Anyway, I just thought I'd point that out. But yeah, here is the bag, and just for proof, let me show you. Cancer research label, £95, and it says vintage Dior on it. But yeah, I just thought it was really cute for like every day. It's quite a wintry, just kind of easy designer bag. And also, while we're here, I figured I might give it a quick polish just so that like it's had a new kind of lease of life. I'm sure they haven't polished it in the charity shop, and I just like to kind of give my handbags and the leather a bit of a feed once in a while, so I thought I might do that with you. So I have my leather cream here. This is the one that I use. It's pretty famous. It's basically the best leather cream. I think people like Mulberry always recommend this one. It's really good. You can buy it on Amazon. I will put the link below. But how I apply it is, here's my bag. I'm so pleased. It's so cute. You know when you're like, it's cute, it's easy. I've got my leather cream. It's a little bit older now actually, so it's got a bit more movement to it than it normally does. But what I do is I personally just dip my fingers in. You can use a cloth and dip the cloth in, but I just personally go in with my fingers and then I just rub it straight into the leather and I keep topping it up. If you do it with a cloth, It does make it easier. But also I quite like doing it with my finger because I feel like you can work it into the leather and I feel like you waste less of it. You have to be quite brave to do this, especially at first, because I'm always worried that it's gonna like ruin the leather, but it's not. It's gonna help the leather and it's gonna feed the leather and it's gonna keep the leather stronger for longer, because leather's a bit like skin. Like if it's dry, it's more fragile. Like in the winter, if you have like chapped hands, they kind of tend to get quite sore and a bit bleedy, you know? So yeah, leather is basically a skin, and if you feed it, it just keeps it nicer for longer and it keeps it stronger. So especially a good place to put it is in the corners. There is actually a bit of a wear to the corner, but I'm not that bothered. I mean, it's not that bad for it being vintage. Yeah, and it was £95. And I did look online. I looked on Vestiaire Collective, I looked on eBay, and all the vintage Dior bags started at least 200, and this was nicer than any of the ones I saw for 200. So that was another little like, I'm gonna do it. At that price, it's basically an investment. Anyway, I've just put it on. There we go, I did it with my fingers. And then some people just leave it on and let it kind of wear off naturally. But what I generally do is I put it on and I keep putting it on until it feels like it's really absorbed it. And then after a few minutes, I just get a soft cloth like this one and I buff it off. So I'm just gonna work a bit more into it, and I might try and do the trim, which is obviously a little bit trickier because it's quite a small space. I'm just gonna do the trim and also the strap, so that's kept nice and strong. And also this helps give it patina. So if you are a person who loves a Louis Vuitton bag, but you like it to have kind of quite a rich patina, this is a good way of getting that rich patina on like a leather strap for a Louis Vuitton bag, because I personally, I like it with a rich patina. I feel like a lot of people love it with that kind of beige, but I like it with the darker colour. Yeah, so if you do want to kind of darken it up quicker and get that patina a bit faster, leather polish is a great way of doing it. Anyway, I think I've completely covered my bag. It's soaking in so quick, like it's almost like I need another layer. I think this bag was quite dry. It probably hasn't been polished in absolutely years, if not decades. Anyway, I'm just gonna put a tiny bit more on so it's really feeding the leather, and then I'm gonna start buffing it off. So here we go. This is it all polished up and it's really soaked in nicely. So I might just give it another quick rub around, and then I'm gonna get in there with my cloth and buff it off. Okay, so here is my cloth, and I'm just gonna literally just give it a bit of a buff. I'm not gonna press too hard. I'm not going to like be too aggressive with it. I'm just really just taking off the excess so it gets back to that nice smooth leather feel. And also that leather cream will have just worked a treat, and it will kind of rub it in and buff it off and all that good stuff. God, it's looking so much better. It just looks more nourished. You realise how dry these bags can get. Okay, so I think I've buffed it off. It feels really nice. It feels much healthier. But what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to give it a little bit of time to dry off. And yeah, I plan to check back in. But for now, here is my handbag. It's vintage, it's Dior, it was £95. I'm so thrilled with it. And yeah, I'll check back in a little while, maybe like an hour, just so that the leather cream has had a little bit longer to soak in. But for now, I've put it in, I've buffed it off, and yeah, it feels so much healthier, which I love. Hello, I'm back again. It's been about 20 minutes, half an hour. I just put some fish fingers in the oven for Mary and my mum, and some corn for me, just so you know what we're having for lunch. Anyway, the bag has had a few minutes for the leather cream to like soak in, dry off, that kind of thing. Because for a minute when you put on leather cream, you're like, oh my God, I've broken my bag. And then it dries in and you're like, oh my God, it's so much better. So I thought I would show you the bag now that it's all dried in. It looks so much better. And I also thought I'd show you the bag on so you can see where it sits in terms of its length. So here I am in my around the home clothes. I'm wearing my leggings, which I'm pretty sure have a hole in, and my boyfriend's socks. Is it just me, or are men's socks so much more comfortable than women's socks? Maybe I have really chubby ankles, which I probably do, but I just find men's have like, they have more room. They're a bit more lengthy, so like there's a bit of bagginess there, but the ankle, so much more comfortable. Anyway, here is the bag. It's crossbody and it's a really, really, really lovely length. And this is what it looks like after the leather cream has soaked in. It just looks healthier. It feels better. It feels more nourished. I think the colour looks a bit more even. It just looks like a nicer bag. It looks like a kind of a better cared for vintage bag, I personally think. You might disagree. But yeah, here it is. Oh, sorry. Here it is after the leather cream has dried in. I just think it looks so much better. Like, it just looks, I don't know, kind of shinier, but like in a good way. Like, not in a bad way, like in a good way. But yeah, I just thought I'd show it to you once it's dried, because it can look a little bit uneven when it's wet, because it's just working its way in. But yeah, that's what it looks like once it's dried. I'm just going to take it off. So now you can see it in some different lights, but it looks better. It just looks more cared for. The leather quality just looks better. It just looks a bit healthier, a bit more nourished. And yeah, I'm absolutely thrilled with it. Can you believe I almost didn't buy it? Can you believe it's £95 for a vintage Dior bag? I'm thrilled. Anyway, that is my video. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you like the bag. Let me know what you think of it. Just a reminder, go into charity shops, you know, go into charity shops, support your local charities that way. Enjoy thrifting. I love thrifting. It's my favourite thing to do. I always say to my boyfriend, even if we won the lottery, you'd be driving to car boot sales in your Range Rover. You'd be driving there in a Bentley, but I'd still be going. Anyway, that's my video. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you again soon. Goodbye.